Hello, Judith.
Hey, Sonya, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the Coach's Cup podcast. I am Sonya Green from Sonya Green Coaching.
And I am Judith Fender, Coach Judith Fender with the No BS weight loss program.
And I am going to toss it right to Judith today. We've got kind of a shorter podcast, but something that's been on our minds, and we wanted to share it with you all while it was kind of fresh.
Fresh, right? It's hot off the press. So,
yeah.
Life's been happening. I've had some circumstances. We've been traveling. You've been busy. There we go. We're going to use coaching words here. And my half marathon. So I'm not sure what podcast they're hearing just prior to this one. Will it be the one with Cynthia?
It will. Yes.
So fun fact, a few weeks have transpired since that podcast. And a few weeks ago, I had said to Sonya, we need to talk about process over progress.
Mm-hmm.
Working with so many weight loss clients, they get hemmed up in not seeing the results on the scale and what they make it mean and all the things around that.
And that's not just weight loss. I have women who they want to see a change in their job, or they want to see a change. I mean, it's anything that we're trying to change.
Exactly. 100%.
Any goal.
And so the irony of this is it was intentionally that my thinking was, this is what women are thinking about. And so then we did this podcast with Cynthia. I've been to Nashville. I have not been training for my half marathon. And so today is like my first day. It's Sunday. And I'm like, okay, I actually have time today to catch up on my life a little bit. I still have a half marathon in like 20 days.
The countdown is on.
I was on the 5-week plan anyway. Now I'm on the 3-week plan. Let me go see what I can do. And I had all kinds of, there was drama from the minute I started. And then I was like, I'm just going to go move. I'm just going to get into the process. And it, I have my concerns. I'm going to finish this half marathon in under, I can make the 4-hour time limit walking. I determined that today. So I'm like, okay, I can't do this. And I came home, and one of my clients had tagged me in a Slack channel and said, Judith, send the newsletter. And so I had made a post like 2 or 3 weeks ago in the Facebook community. And it was on this, like, I just told Sonya, didn't I just tell you 5 minutes ago, I was like, I need to read this every day. And these were my thoughts about what being a consistent exerciser, right? So if we think of this, the process, like it's something you want to do. I want it to be an exerciser. If you want to lose weight, if you want to create the results in your job, like insert whatever it is you want to do, you have to start, you have to meet yourself where you're at, and you just keep going for it.
Yeah.
So I had this line in here. I just want to read it out loud. And I think of what it's really relevant. I'm getting a little deep here, but I'm talking about exercise. And I say, what I realize is there is no end date. And when the end date loses significance, that in itself is significant, because when you realize that there is no end date, then it becomes all about you. The goal becomes the pattern. Take action towards what you want. The process becomes me. What? Does that sound as good as I think it does?
And what I love about this most is the thing that I know that probably most other people don't know, that I'm going to go a little meta here, but even you writing those posts, why do you not follow the process of writing those posts? Can I out you here? Because I think this is really relevant. This speaks to what holds us all back from reaching our goals, I think.
Judgment, right? Self-judgment. What thinking it's not good enough, it's not right. So this post, I did just tell Sonya 10 minutes ago now about this post and how I didn't want to do it. Well, I wanted to do it, but I was judging myself the whole time because I didn't want to slow down and type all these things. And I just wanted to put my thoughts on paper, and that it didn't look right, and it's not right. But today, reading this post and the women that, that it impacted, that left comments about, oh my gosh, I'm gonna sign up for the Don't Stop Believing. I want to be an exerciser too. And people like wanting to borrow my thoughts, and I love your thoughts on this. And so it is relevant. You're 100% right. And
we're hard on ourselves. And I mean you and me, but I also mean women, humans in general. We are hard on ourselves, and we hold back so much value in our judgment, in our brains.
And, and full disclosure, it's easier, right, to be someone's coach and hear how they are.
Absolutely.
100%. But in the moment, well, that's not even true anymore. I feel like I'm just feeling so painfully aware all the time how I'm judging myself. That in and of itself is a real thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, judgment is a part of all of our lives.
Yes, it's coming along.
And the process is catching it and saying, you know what? I'm feeling it. Hearing all the voices saying how this is not good enough. And I'm going to do the hard thing and push through and do it anyway.
Yep. I did it anyway.
Yeah.
Committing to the process brings honor to myself. These are my words.
And how does it do that? How does it bring honor to yourself?
Because I'm going to get emotional here. Because I'm going for what I want.
Yeah.
I'm committing to showing up, just like me showing up today. I'm still committing to that half marathon. I'm going to show up. This is how I'm going to do it. I got to get 3 weeks worth of running in.
Yeah.
But it honors me because I'm keeping my word. I'm showing up and following through.
Yeah. And, for our listeners, I would encourage you to think about, what are your goals right now? What are you talking yourself out of because you're focused on that future thing, the progress, whatever that thing is? What are you talking yourself out of right now because your eye is looking forward instead of being in the moment?
Which is super interesting. And speaking of that, I did that same thing today when I was doing the math, trying to figure out, well, I can still finish in under 4 hours if I did this. But I was like, ooh, I'll be the last one. I could be the last one across the line. Not helpful thinking, and not a problem.
Not a problem.
We know, like, I am not going to be breaking any land records on this.
That wasn't your goal, was it?
Not my goal. My goal was to run a half marathon.
Yeah.
In Nashville.
Yeah.
On April 23rd. This might even
Shakespeare's birthday. Huh.
Well, who knew?
Yeah. Only weird people like me. But in all seriousness, this is the heart of what we do. And I think this is why we both wanted to jump on and do this. Because so many times we talk ourselves out of things that really can not only help ourselves, but help other people. Because of all the noise,
about podcasting,
all the busyness. Yeah, call it whatever we want to call it. And we let it kill our dreams and kill other people's dreams because we never put it out there.
Taking it away from somebody else.
Yeah.
So, well, it's process, committing to the process, being willing to let go of the result to have the progress, right?
Yeah, because I mean, really, you're probably not going to be the last person, but somebody has to be last, and there's no shame what is that? What is that saying that even the person who comes in last is laughing all the people on the couch at home?
Right. There you go. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm still to not be injured is probably my main my main goal. I was like, oh, as long as I can still make it across the finish line and I'm not injured in any capacity, it will be a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, what else do we want to say about process over progress?
I don't know that we can say a whole lot more without beating it into the ground. I will say that this is something, process has been the focus of teaching writing. In my career, I teach writing. And we always look at process over product, over that end product.
Mhm.
Because if I can write something and understand the process of reaching an audience,
Mhm.
that's always my goal. When we're teaching writing, it's reaching that audience. If you can learn the process, then it doesn't matter if you're in class writing for your professor, if you're in a job writing to a customer, if you are writing a book. It doesn't matter. If you understand the process, then the product is out there. You just have to follow the process to its end. And so I think about that. You got a funny look on your
I
face.
know. I was like, wait a minute, how can I apply this to running? Okay.
Well, I mean, I apply it to my goals in that
Mhm.
same way. I'm focusing on what are the steps, just like what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Showing up, writing it, looking at where it's not quite good enough, revising it, writing it again. But once I know those steps, I can meet any goal.
Mhm.
Like I said, whether I'm writing a book or whether I'm writing a report or whether I'm writing a paper for a professor, I can
Mhm.
meet any of those goals because I understand the process. And in the same way, I apply that to the goals that I set. You were getting ready to say something.
I was going to ask about like your students. When do they? So like, I missed, I don't know, 10 days of running.
Mhm.
When your students are learning the writing process and they, for what I'm going to go with, like receive a grade
Mhm.
and they stop and like the grade is, a C or lower or something like
Yeah.
that. Although your students probably don't do that, right?
Well,
Okay. So, okay, they don't turn it in. Or did they write it like me in bullet points?
so if the goal is the process,
Mm,
then it's my job as their professor to
mm.
give them feedback and allow them to revise,
Yeah.
because it's not about the product at the end. It's
Mm.
about the process.
I
And
got
the
you.
process is recursive. So that doesn't,
Recursive. Wait a minute. Who uses that word?
sorry,
Recursive.
I pulled that out of my
Right.
professorial. Anyway, if I did not allow them to revise, then I wouldn't be following my own process, right?
Right. Yes. So the process works.
It works.
Follow the process.
Mhm.
And when you follow the process, the
You
progress.
focus on the now, you focus on what you're trying to get done in the moment.
Yeah.
You're going to get to the end. Put your head down and keep taking those steps forward. And
Right. I
you're
was
going to
like,
hit
that's what I was doing.
13.
Little steps today, Judith. Little steps, little steps, little
Yes.
steps. Stop taking big little steps.
Yep.
Chop, chop, chop. Quick feet, quick feet. That's what I
Yeah.
was telling myself.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
Well, let me just look through if I said anything else. I'm not a quitter. Well, it's just talking about in my post and thinking about what trusting the process, what that really means and how you can like look inward about yourself, like you're talking about being in the now and how being committed to the process, how you can develop that relationship with yourself and understanding that you have the capacity, that you're going to want to quit. You're going to take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
Mm-hmm.
You can go through the hard times in the process, but in the end.
And how many times have we done that? I have students who do get grades lower than what they'd really like, but they decide, it's not worth it for me to revise for whatever reason. That's their option. There are people who want a better job. They want a higher education, but for whatever reason, they decide, I'm not going to do it. It's too scary. It's too out of my comfort zone. It's too whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who decide they're going to run a half marathon, but then along the way, they have life intervene.
This is so true. I could have not gone for a run today.
Yeah.
Really.
And you know what? Nobody would have judged you for that except
me.
Yes.
Me. Oh, yeah.
Everybody else would have been like, oh, good grief, you've got a full-time job. You're getting ready to take a trip. You have way too many things on your plate to run today. Of course you didn't run today. But Judy said, I'm making time for this because this is the part of the process that's going to get me across that finish line in 20 days.
I said, Sonya, I can't podcast Sunday morning because I have got to go run. I did.
Yeah.
And that was hard. That was hard.
Yes, it always.
Many hours in the day. And I am in between 2 trips. And it is true. Like, yeah,
it's always hard because our brain always wants comfort.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be an idea I have been playing with lately is being wildly uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll hear more about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got to find ways to make ourselves uncomfortable on a daily basis. We have to find ways because our brain will always be looking for the path of least resistance.
This is true. This is true.
And you did that today. So well done, you.
Well, thank you, Sonya. That is, I did not expect this. I wasn't sure where we were going with this as much as just realizing that, yeah, I did show up for myself in a big way today, but I get so used to doing it, and there was some fear, but it was good. And I think I'm just going to read this every day for the next 3 weeks and remind myself. And I always feel better after I exercise. Always.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you, Sonya, for letting me bump you to the side so that I could go run and get it done. And
I never feel bumped to the side.
We got another one in the can.
Yeah.
It is. It's, Sonya has a full-time job and a full family, as do I. And, making this time to commit to podcasting is, gosh, we're coming up on our 100th episode.
Yes.
And for 2 years, we've been talking on the regular and scheduling this and making it happen and trying to show up. So
our process feels pretty good too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And look at the progress. Now we're getting ready to hit 20,000 listeners, 20,000 downloads. Right.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sure I say that right.
We're knocking on the door.
Yeah.
100 episodes, 20,000 downloads.
And we started with one.
Yeah.
One podcast.
Yeah. We had never done anything like it before. We kind of figured it out. We followed the process.
What was our process? Showing up.
Yeah, that was it at the time. And look how much we've learned along the way.
Wow. Well, a lot. And when I think about on the technical end, all the stuff you do, it's I can't imagine all the things that you've learned and how refined you are now on your process, editing and uploading.
Amazing. Yes, I'm just an amazing editor. That's what I choose to believe.
I love that.
Yep.
But yeah, our 100th episode. What is this one? 96?
I think so. I think this is 96. Yeah. Yeah. So more about that in a few weeks. We've got some topic ideas, but we're not going to drop those yet. We're not going to spill the beans.
We've got beans.
We do. We have beans. All kinds.
I'm being silly.
All right. Well, let's wrap her up. And if you all are looking for coaching, you can find me at Sonya Green Coaching or on the Instagram at Sonya, SONYA_Green Coaching.
And if you would like to coach with me, I do coach exclusively for the No BS weight loss program. So you can find me there. But if you want to follow me on the Instagram, I did make a post today with chickens and a goat in it.
I haven't seen that yet.
You better hurry. Well, it'll be gone. Well, maybe I'll put it in. Anyway, it's just Judy, Judy on Instagram.
All right. Thank you all. We hope that if you enjoy our process as much as we do, that you will give us a review and or share us with your friends. Yes. This is the little podcast that could, and we appreciate it. We could only do this with you, dear listeners. Aww. So thank you so much.
The little podcast that could.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.